Okay, so before we start anything, because of the way this kind of session one shot is going to be structured, we're not going to fuck with initiative. So if you could all just give me your passive initiative, then I don't need to worry about that, and we don't need to make you roll because there's different rooms and you're moving about, and it just helps structure it a bit better. So if you could all just chuck your passive initiative in the chat, and your characters' names, because I don't know those.
Oh.
Would be fabulous.
You want like AC, hit points, all that stuff?
Nah, I don't worry about that. I used to always ask for it, and then I was like, actually, it doesn't.
How often do I actually use it?
Yeah, like, because I'll always just roll and ask them if it hits anyway. So what's the first point?
Oh, Chopper, don't you start.
All right. Awesome. My post-it note is full. So you are all members of the Plowshares, or have been hired by the Plowshares, one of the two, who are, as everyone here knows, the Thieves Guild in Lament, based in Vyros, one of the main kind of big cities. And you've been told of a mission that you have, in which you are to recover 3 ledgers from a place called the Carpenter Building. Now, you know the Carpenter Building to be the home of, would you believe it, the Carpenters, who is a kind of a group of individuals, almost like a company, but I guess not officially a company, who run this kind of massive illegal gambling ring. They all sort of take bets, and they own about half the people in the city by this point, because everyone owes them a ridiculous amount of money. And they keep lists of everyone who owes them in these 3 ledgers. You, the Plowshares, have taken an interest in the ledgers because it's come to your attention that certain political figures and members of the judiciary system in Vyros have or owe money to the Carpenters, and so this appears like a fantastic opportunity for some blackmail. Were you able to acquire them? As a result, you 3 have been tasked with entering the Carpenter Building and retrieving the ledgers and bringing them back to the Plowshares. Now, things you should know. Firstly, you've been told in your briefing that the Plowshares, or the Carpenter Building, is an enormous manor house that is a front, and there is a secret entrance somewhere to the kind of backroom gambling rooms. In addition, you've been told that someone in the Carpenter Building has been paid off to leave the kitchen window open at the back of the ground floor, which is how you're to enter. As well as this, you are currently in a safe house overlooking the Eastern River in Vyros. And this is pretty much near enough across the street from the Carpenter Building. You would know as well that basically the room you're in, because it's a single room overlooking the river that you're all sitting in, waiting for waiting for the instructions to go. You can see that the road leading up to the Carpenter Building has several kind of tall townhouses on either side. Then the Carpenter Building's kind of on its own property with grass around it. You know that there are some pretty thuggish guards around, though you don't think they should be too much of a problem.
Could I have been maybe observing some of these guys to see if I could study their face, voice, mannerisms, things like that?
Okay, yeah. We'll say right at this moment you're all in the safe house, but in like the week leading up to it, for example, maybe you've been studying some of these guys. So if that comes into play, we can do that. So why don't you all just describe your character and what they'd be doing, kind of waiting in anticipation of a job. We'll start with Corinne because she's on the left.
Yeah, I am playing Phaedric and Keldanon. She will be your duly appointed mage this evening, and she looks as the art. She, dark kind of skin, half elf, but she's got a bit of odd-looking scales crawling up the back of her neck and across other parts of her, and all that other fun things. She's just wearing some dark clothes that, ready for the sneaking and the what have yous, but they still have like a bit of flair to them and what have yous.
Indeed. Very nice. Dylan.
So Oren is middling height, probably about 5'9", 5'10". Dark black hair. He seems of mixed heritage. I assume we're in more or less Caucasian sort of environment, whereas he seems to have mixed East Asian heritage. He also has these sort of like opalescent scales, like on it, unlike some of the with Winter Conic Sorcerer. Okay. He generally dresses in sort of a mix of, for lack of better terms, Western and Eastern wear. He sort of has a gi on his top half with like, almost the bottom half of him almost looks like he's wearing like sailor's outfit, with big sturdy boots. He carries a long sword that is one-handed, not typical to the long swords that are typical in this culture, but it's got not made for two-handed use at all. He is markedly lazy and arrogant, but good-natured, and generally everybody's friend. He's got a bit of a silver tongue, which usually gets him out of trouble, but sometimes into it. And he likes to play the flute a lot. So he will probably, if we're sitting in the safe house together, he will probably be just lightly playing the flute, a very slow, peaceful melody.
Very nice, very nice. And finally, Jade.
All right, so I'm playing Kylan. She is an elf. You kind of gathered just by some of her, habits and things like that she's probably a rogue. She's definitely kind of, her armor and stuff is like in kind of greasy and not really well kept. She's trying to like slip away every once in a while if she has the opportunity to kind of like sneak out and just go like different places. So that's kind of, and you kind of, if you spend enough time around her, you kind of gather that, she's, if you were going to pay attention, you would maybe find her going off to like find different, gambling halls and drinking halls and things like that. So she's here, but not necessarily really kind of about the job.
What was her race?
An elf.
Oh.
Very nice. Well, we have 3 very special snowflakes then, and we'll see how this goes. So it's getting to be about midnight, and then it continues, and it gets to be about 1, and then it continues, and you're just sitting there waiting, and eventually 2 o'clock rolls around, and almost on the toll of the bell, there's 3 knocks at the door, indicating that now is the time when you should move. If you're to open the door, you don't see anyone there, and you don't see anyone around, but you know what it means. How would you like to approach?
You said it was what time of day?
It's 2 a.m.
a.m. Okay, so everyone's in bed.
Mm-hmm.
Probably for the best. Well, I do have some magics that might help us approach quietly, at the very least.
Probably for the best.
So we're in a safe house. Are we on ground level?
No,
So
you
second
were
story.
up one level, but you'd leave and there's stairs straight down. So like you wouldn't, if you left the room you're in, you're outside. But
okay. So yeah, well, Oren, well, if you guys are ready to go, let's say we away.
Let's be done with it then.
All right. Yeah, Oren will head down the stairs and out to the street.
okay, are you casting any spells or anything on your way up?
Not just yet.
Okay.
Sort of get out there and take a look around and
Yeah.
see
So
if there's...
you see opposite, a few hundred feet away, is the large manor house that is the Carpenter building. Either side of the road that you're kind of looking down are these, like I said, these townhouses that are kind of 2 or 3 stories, very, very cramped together. And this empty cobbled street that you stand on is just, it's pitch black, and there's no light.
I'll turn to the 2 women and say, well, do either of you have any special ideas? Infiltration's not really my thing. I do have a little bit of magic. I make us quiet. I could make myself look like somebody less attractive.
The window's open, correct?
The window's open. That's what they said.
Stay in the shadows?
Did I get a sense for any of the people that are coming and going from the safe house? Could I, if need be, make myself look like somebody?
Coming and going from the safe house?
No, not from the safe house. I'm sorry, from the...
Yeah,
observing from the safe house.
Right, observing people coming and going from the place we're going.
Yeah, so you would know that you would definitely be able to identify the guards. Most of them are pretty much full-time. They tend to wear very kind of fairly light, like studded leather, and they carry shields. They're all just generally like massive, bulky, expensive-looking guards.
Okay.
And they're all, uniformed together. And you would be able to mimic and mirror any of their mannerisms or voices if you studied them. You would also have seen various people coming and going, but almost all of them wear cloaks with hoods up, hiding their faces.
Okay. Well, if need be, I can pretend to be a guard. Well, let's make our way there. Probably should stay off the road.
These big manor houses usually have some sort of access point in the back for servants and the like. Should be some alleyway. You don't have delivery carts sidling up to the front door,
Fair point. Is there an alley we can move down?
Definitely. You can kind of move, I imagine, sort of down the other side of the townhouses. And so it's very easy for you to approach completely out of view of anyone from the house. Though you know that the kitchen, or you've been told that the kitchen is around the back of the house. So for you to get there, you'll have to go around and enter the grounds from the other side, or enter through the front and make your way around. The grounds are basically just well looked after, well kept grass. There's maybe 1 or 2 trees here and there, and it's bordered by this black iron fence that's probably about 10 feet high.
Okay.
There's a large gate at the front and a smaller gate at the back.
As we make our way to the back gate, can we see clearly any people about? I mean, guards posted?
So there's a guard who kind of sits on the porch at the front, and he's got a torch kind of that sits just above his head in a sconce, and he is just kind of picking his teeth, and he has the remains of what looks to be some sort of meal kind of sitting next to him, and he's just picking his teeth and sitting there doing nothing, just watching. Apart from that, there's no other guards outside that you can see.
Okay.
You said that he's at the front, so do we have to?
So if you want to go in the front gate, he will absolutely see you, but you could go around the back.
Well, I think we're leaning towards going down the back way. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be easiest.
Okay, so you head round, and you get to this back gate, and it's sort of like an arch shape, and it's just kind of cut into the fence. It's currently closed. It's not locked, but it's been raining earlier in the evening, so it's kind of like slick with a bit of water, and you imagine that well, it doesn't look like it gets used much, so maybe loud if you were to open it.
Well, I think I can take care of that. Before I do, though, I'll turn to Kylan and say, you're pretty good at bringing things down quickly, yeah?
Yeah.
So is there any preparations either of you want to do that requires speaking? Because in a moment, you won't be able to. I know you were all excited for me not to be speaking anymore, but if there's anything you'd like to say. All right.
Oh, darling, you could try, but I don't need words.
Uh-huh. All right, then. And Oren will just kind of put his fingers up in front of his mouth and like wink and whisper, and then everything goes silent. Okay.
Very well. All right. So you can open the gate then without it making any noise, and the ground, the grass is sort of wet, slick with the previous rain, though it's cleared up a bit now, and you can see. Imagine the gate is sort of on the left-hand side of the fence as you're looking at the back of the house, and the kitchen window is open, or there is a window open on the ground floor that is on this side of the house. So it's probably only like 60 feet away to get to, or no, probably 30 feet away to get to the house, to get to the window.
I'll look to Kylan, and I'll point up at the window and gesture to you, sort of like, can you get up there?
It's on the ground floor.
Oh, okay. Can you get in there?
So yeah, I'll go up and kind of poke my head in the window.
Yeah. So this is clearly the kitchen. It's dark and quiet, and there's no one in there. You can see that there's preparations laid out for what looks to be breakfast. You know, the eggs and the bread is already set. The chef doesn't have to do it when he comes in the morning. It looks like there's a door immediately opposite the window that leads out of the kitchen, and as far as you can tell, it's completely empty and dead silent.
I'll step inside.
Okay, you do so.
Go up, listen at the door.
You listen for a moment. Make me a perception check.
So here's a trick. If you're still within range of the silence, you can't hear anything.
Oh,
well, you said it was like, you said it was like 60 feet to the house. We're we're good. We're good.
Okay.
It's 30 feet to the house. I think I changed it to, but yeah.
Oh, well.
But then in the kitchen, and then
Yeah, you're far enough away.
21.
Yeah, you hear nothing.
Kind of creak the door open a little bit.
It makes a slight squeak, but not nothing loud enough to alert anyone. And you see that the room beyond is a long dining room. There's a large dark wooden table sitting in the center with about 20 chairs tucked in neatly around it. There's a large chandelier above and a drinks cabinet in the far corner. You're entering through a door in the southern wall of this room, one of the short sides. And on your right-hand side in the east wall, there are two more doors, one at each end, so one near you and one on the far side.
Okay.
This room is similarly empty and very dark.
I'll go back to the window and kind of motion for everybody to come inside.
I'll gesture for the sorceress to go first, and I'll follow behind.
She'll climb in through the window with a wink.
Ooh.
So you both enter through the window, and are absolutely, you don't disturb anyone. The silent spell's going, so even if you did fail, you'd make no noise. So you're absolutely fine, and yeah, you can catch up.
Maintaining the silence, I'd like to. Do we know where the ledger is, or we have to search?
You've been told that the ledgers are probably in the offices upstairs.
Okay. Can we see the stairs that go up from where we are?
No, you're in the dining room with 2 closed doors.
Okay. Do we have any map that we were given, or even just directions from? Nope. Okay.
You are plowshares. You are the elite. You are expected to be able to cope no matter.
I figured maybe we had some intelligence.
I mean, you maybe got some, but as much as they've been able to give you, the Carpenters are extremely secret.
Okay.
So you've got, that you're looking probably upstairs in the offices. You know that the gambling rooms and some of the other offices are somewhere hidden in the back of the mansion, but you have, that there's some kind of skullduggery, like hidden method of opening the door or something. So
okay, well, I will gesture to the rogue and sort of point to the opposite door, and I'll point to one door and I'll go to the opposite.
Okay.
And I'll check out the door.
Okay. Both doors lead out into different points in the same room, which is a large foyer. There are 2 sets of curving stairs, kind of set into the back of it, which would be sort of against the wall that you came into. There's a door, a large set of double wooden doors in between the 2 stairs, and there are 2 more doors on the complete opposite side of the marble floored foyer, exactly opposite the 2 doors that you're peeking out of.
And those presumably were the doors to the street.
Yes.
Okay.
The door to the street would be on your left-hand side, and is a different door as well. So if you're looking in, if you came in the front door, you would be seeing the doors you're looking out of are in the right-hand side. There's 2 doors on the left-hand side that are exactly opposite the right-hand doors, and then the large sweeping stairs directly opposite the front door.
I'd like to check out the door that's next to us. The ones that are in the stairs, but not the ones we're coming through.
Yeah. So you wanna check the doors opposite. There's also, as you kind of don't notice it immediately because it's quite dark in here, but then you see that there's a guard sitting at the top of the stairs on the balcony up there.
Awake?
Yeah, he's awake. He's sitting on a chair. Well, as far as you can tell, yeah, he's sitting on a chair and not moving.
If we move out of these doors, will he have line of sight on us?
Yes, very likely.
Okay. So I'll use message actually. Actually, does message work in silence?
Yeah, it's a mental message.
Is the silence traveling with us?
It's traveling with me. I'm the silence. Oh wait, no, maybe not. Oh, I thought it traveled with me, but I guess it doesn't.
Oh,
yeah,
no. Just on a spot. Okay, no worries then.
So we're not actually silent.
Yeah, I'll take stealth checks now then from you.
All right. My mistake.
No, not a problem. You will regret it though.
Yep.
My stealth is an 18.
18?
17.
22.
Nice. Okay. Good to know. So you're in the dining room and peeking out, and he hasn't seen you yet. But he is looking down at the foyer.
Do you tell the rest of us about him?
Yeah, I'll come back in as silently as I can, and very quietly I'll say to the other two, there's a man at the top of the stairs. I think I can distract him while you two do your exploration.
Well, you could distract him for a moment, or I can put him to sleep for a few hours.
If that's something you can do, then yes, by all means.
Oh, wait, it's a minute. Never mind. It only puts me to sleep for a minute.
I can talk this man's ear off all night if I need to, is what I'm saying.
Is it the sleep spell you were going to do?
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you now. Probably not a great choice of spell for this. These dudes are very tough.
Okay.
They are the most expensive guards you can buy.
Well, then they suck. Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
then.
my idea here is I can make myself look like one of his buddies and go over there, have a chat with him. And you guys can see if you can find the item. Do either of you also have the message cantrip?
Yeah, I don't know any magics.
Well, I can contact you if you're within 120 feet, I believe. So as long as you don't go too far, I should be able to keep pace with where you are at. Yeah, you can cast a spell through solid objects if you're familiar with the target. 1 foot of stone, blah, 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 3 feet of wood block the spell.
So stick close. Ish.
Right, we'll have to get upstairs past him somehow, though. Can you distract him that well?
Well, we'll find out, I suppose. Oren gives you a great big smirk. And he'll cast Disguise Self, and he'll make himself look like someone who is as close to his physical build and as close to his apparent age, so that his voice doesn't sound too off when he tries to mimic it.
Sure. You do so.
And hopefully somebody that he knows is...
Yeah, so I assume it's one of the guards that you've seen, yeah.
Yeah. Can I get the guy's name?
How would you know his name?
Through, like, hanging out in taverns nearby, that kind of shit.
Make me a... Just roll me a d20.
Sure. Yeah, if ideally I'd like to get the guard's name and my own name. That's 12.
No, you do not.
Okay, we'll have to bullshit our way through this.
It's like, because you can't really, I imagine you've sort of been watching them, and, there's not that much to talk about. All they do is sit around all day, pretty much, so they haven't really got much to talk about, sort of thing. And they're always on retainer, so.
So you said we came out of the kitchen, right?
You came out of the kitchen, yeah.
I'm going to go in there and get myself a little plate of food.
Sure.
Just like cheeses and bread and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to come out of the kitchen and sort of like make a little bit of a kerfuffle, like probably just like eat really loudly as I come up and then just start walking up the stairs.
Yeah, so he like stands up as soon as he hears it and then he sees it and he's like, oh. He goes, oh, Turl, you scared me.
What did he call me?
Turl. I'll
Turl.
put it in the chat.
I didn't mean to scare you there, pal. Don't tell anybody. I'm just getting myself a midnight snack. You look bored to tears.
As always.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, I'm not on duty, and I won't tell anyone that you're slacking if you won't. You care to enjoy a bit of a snack with me? I also have a deck of cards.
Make a persuasion check.
Ooh, that's a 17 plus 8 is a 25.
He crit failed, so he goes, yeah, I've been on for about 6 hours, so I am hungry and bored.
And since you're in such good spirits, I also have a flask to share with you.
You are my hero, Turl.
All right, let's keep it quiet, though. And I'll make my way up the stairs, and I'll sit down. If there's a table there or something,
there's like a little kind of side table there.
And I'll try to just like keep conversation minimal because we're trying to keep it quiet.
Yeah.
And also that will keep me from saying something stupid and blowing the ruse. And I'll just try. I'll position myself so he's facing me away from the door where they need to move.
Okay.
And so hopefully so I can see the door.
Right, yeah. So you're both the door. I imagine you're sort of slightly facing each other. So the door is kind of over his left shoulder, which he's not like completely looking like immediately away from it. He's kind of looking at an angle away from it. So it's unlikely he'd notice if you're able to hold his attention well enough.
Yeah. And I'll talk about like everything and nothing kind of subjects, like the weather and our favorite sports teams. You know.
Yeah. Right.
Did you see that ludicrous display last night?
Amazing. Okay, what are you guys doing?
Bet they like cricket in these parts. Ugh.
So as soon as like it looks like he's got him kind of sufficiently distracted, we'll kind of like start moving towards one of the doors.
Okay. So which door? There's the front door, the two doors opposite you, or the double doors in between the stairs.
And we need to get upstairs.
Apparently.
Or because you said there's offices like in the back gambling rooms or whatever. Yeah. Okay. And then there's
the main offices upstairs as well.
And the ledgers, we don't know where they are, but our intel says they're upstairs.
Your intel says they're likely upstairs, yeah.
So you're gonna have to walk past us, just very, very quietly.
Well, I'm wondering if we can't. Try to find a different staircase.
Like, he is actually just sitting on the balcony. There is no way, even with the greatest stealth roll.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like he's sitting at the top of the stairs, and you're trying to sneak up the stairs past him. Like, you know, if someone walks within 2 meters of you, you're gonna know it, even if they're sneaking. Unless they're insanely good. So,
what do you think? See which ones? Where are we going?
So there's you're saying that there's no way that we could physically walk past him right now, even to like one of the other stairs?
It sounds like not up the stairs, but you
could try.
Like going upstairs sounds like it would be impossible, but the door that's next to the door you're coming out of, which I think
you reckon you could probably get to any of the doors on the ground floor, but getting upstairs may be difficult at this juncture.
Big fancy houses like these usually have a set of servant stairs somewhere.
I actually agree with that.
Probably near the back. And she'll like point to the doors away from the front, the street.
Makes sense, I guess. Start moving towards those doors.
Okay. If you guys are going for those doors, I'll take another stealth check. Gonna give you advantage on it because of the beautiful distraction.
It is the same roll. An 18.
18.
28.
Jesus. All right. Yeah. He has no idea you're there. He's just talking to
Turl.
Just like, yeah, to Turl, saying like, oh yeah, did you see the fight yesterday in the pit?
Did I see the fight? Do I know what he's talking about?
No, you have no idea.
Okay. No, I missed it. Who fought?
Oh, it was a good one. They had 2 of the big dudes from down south against, well, let's just say the mace was involved, and he gives you like a,
like a raised eyebrow.
Oh yeah, kind of look. Yeah.
I go, the mace, you say? My God, how many men did it take to fight that one, huh?
Well, after those 2 were gone, he decided he wanted to dispatch everyone else in the room. So it took a few guards to beat him down, but it was a damn good fight.
The gods must have cursed any man that has to fight the mace.
He nods. All right, skip back over. You guys get to the door. You're either side of it, and it's this big set of double doors. Very ornate looking.
All right. open it up.
Okay, so you open it and it opens outwards, which is no problem for anyone seeing you, but it makes the tiniest creak as you open it. And imagine he goes, "Did you hear something? What was that?"
Oh.
And he kind of begins to stand up.
Yes, I suppose I did. That was Oren kind of like wiggles in his chair and like rocks it back and forth against the floorboard. You mean that?
Oh, yeah, I guess. Sits back down.
Honestly, you're working too hard. You're much less fun when you work hard.
I think you may be right. He begins shuffling the cards.
One more game, then I think I have to finally get to bed. You're eating all my cheese, after all. Or shall we say, the master's cheese.
We shall not in public. And he like taps his nose.
Oh, you're a good man.
So the doors open, and they open into this closet, and it is full of cleaning supplies and packed with shelves of just junk and various like mansion trappings, you know, like extra pots and pans and that sort of thing. There's just shelves on either side that kind of form a corridor that sort of curl around out of sight. But they're very ornate doors to be doors to a closet.
So there's like space where we can like step into here.
Yeah, so it's like it goes back quite far and then it turns off to the left. And the shelves are kind of forming a corridor.
All right, I'll step into the closet.
Yeah, so as you step around, you see it just abruptly ends in this stone wall as you round the corner, and there's just more shelves everywhere. And the wall, you know, is a few meters in length that you're up against, but
before they get too far, I'd like to try to contact Kylan by way of message.
Yeah, sure. She's like directly under you, so
okay, cool.
Distance-wise, it works out.
Cool. I'll just say this guy's incredibly boring. What are you guys doing? Can I come have fun with you?
I mean, you're welcome. Right now, we're just kind of sorting through a bunch of junk.
All right. Well, I'll check in again in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Phaedra's gonna like start kind of looking around the shelves for
right. Investigation check.
levers, that kind of thing.
While you're doing that, he's the guard up there is like, Tull, you're right. As he sees your expression kind of changes, you're casting a spell.
Yeah, well, you know me. I fancy myself a deep thinker. I was thinking, you know, is this the life that I really want for myself? Maybe this is too familiar. I mean, I've been working for these guys for long enough now to understand that there's a big wide world out there. You ever feel that way? That maybe you could be putting your skills to better use than, I mean, I feel like we can say it, but nobody else can say it, but essentially a thug.
You told me last night that you were sick of traveling and wanted to settle down. That's why you took this job.
Well, that's true. You know, I am sick of traveling, you know, but obviously I'm a conflicted man. I don't know.
That you are. And he sort of gets like, oh, geez, this guy is he's a talker.
It's true.
It's a natural 20 plus 2
Okay.
for 22.
So you're looking around, you don't see anything, and then you turn, you look at the wall, and one of the cobbles on the wall, you notice that there's an eye that's carved into it very slightly, and looks like it's got a seam around it.
So good.
And do you touch it or mess with it, or do you just look at it?
I'll point to it and point to my own eye and give Kylan a wink.
All right, I'll look it over. Does it look like any kind of? Does it look like basically like, you know, a trap or anything like that? Maybe
it looks like it moves.
Okay.
Ew.
Like not like looks around, but you know.
Yeah.
You get it. What would you like to do?
Does there appear to be like any kind of like residue on it that would give me anything that maybe this is?
It doesn't look dusty.
Okay.
A lot of stuff in this room looks fairly dusty, but this doesn't really look dusty.
I kind of shrug and then like see if I can get it to open the door.
Sure. Okay. So are you gonna push it? Did you say? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of push in, and you feel that it moves with your hand. Like if you push it in, it moves in. And there's a kind of clicking in it. It moves in, and everywhere moves in except the like center of the eye, the iris, which kind of stays out. And then as you push in, the iris it's this kind of cylinder that sticks out, and then it kind of turns and becomes a handle in your hand, and you can feel that it can twist. If you twist it.
Yeah, I'll turn the handle.
Yeah. So it turns, and you immediately see like the click, and then the wall swings in the shape of a door, or is able to be swung in the shape of a door. You can see beyond that there's sort of like a little hallway. It's got this red padded carpet, and these sort of striped, kind of like yellowish puke color and purple wallpaper. And there's like another little side table with some kind of glowing flowers on it that gives the room this sort of light blue haze.
And it's just a room?
Yeah, well, from what you can see, it kind of goes around the corner slightly, but it's tiny. It's like 3 by 3 meters. Sorry, I keep saying meters, all you Americans.
9 feet by 9 feet.
Yeah.
Why didn't you wait for Oren? I'll scout ahead a little bit.
Gladly.
Okay.
So I'll start scouting ahead.
Yeah, so you find that the door you get to, or it rounds the corner, and you see there's another door, and there's kind of frosted glass, and you see that the room beyond it looks enormous, and it looks like there's a bunch of tables in there. It's kind of hard to make out through the glass. You can also see movement over in one of the corners.
And do I see an obvious way to open the door?
Yeah, it's just got a knob.
All right. I'm gonna open the door, but I'm being like super quiet about it.
All right, I'll let you make a stealth check. See how stealthily you open the door.
29.
You can pretty much open the door without going through, or go through the door without opening it. Like, you're that stealthy. So you open it just a crack, and you see that the room looks like an enormous gambling hall. There's tons of gambling tables. All of them are empty except one over in the far corner, where there's 2 large-looking men with their back to you. Look to be playing some kind of cards. You can see that there's a deep sand pit in the center of the room, kind of opposite the door that you're coming through. And you can just see the hints of what looks like red and brown sand inside. You can also see a load of offices off to one side that are all kind of similarly frosted glass.
I'm gonna start making my way towards the offices.
Okay. So I'll let you keep that stealth roll, and you kind of skirt across, and you begin seeing names on the doors as you get close. James Brading, Samuel Wildmer, Gwilym Thrall, Myrtle Mycroft, Linda Devereaux, Morris Ackerman, and you're just going around, and they're sort of over on the left-hand wall, on the far side away from the gamblers.
I'll kind of like look into each one as I'm going.
Yeah, they all look dark. And then you get to the last one, and it looks like there's someone inside. It looks lit. You also see, kind of from the new angle that ran behind the pit, is a spiral staircase going up.
Let's go see what's going on with that lit office. Super
Okay,
black.
so you can appear and you can see through the frosted glass that there's someone moving around inside, and there's a candle burning on the desk. The rooms look very small. They have like a desk, a chair, and like accounting paraphernalia, like an abacus and document holders and that sort of thing. But it's kind of hard to make out through the glass.
Is this individual turned away from me?
He is. He has his back to you. Looks like he's packing a bag or something.
Stab him, stab him, stab him, stab him, stab him.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, I'd like to try to get in there and.
So you open the door of Morris Ackerman, is it?
Yes.
That's one, isn't it? Okay. And I'll let you keep that insane stealth roll. So you open it without him noticing.
Can I, at this point, check in with both of them again and see
Sure.
what's up? So yeah, you'll get a message from Oren.
I was going to say, I imagine your conversation's like nearing its end.
Yeah, no. So I'll tell the gentleman with whom I speak. Well, I've basically been letting him win at cards. Well, you've beaten me pretty thoroughly and drunk most of my liquor and eaten most of my food. I think I'd better finish up my night and head off. Listen,
you do that.
Listen, but the rest of the food and the flask is yours. You keep that for now.
Thanks. Mind if I keep hold of the cards so I can entertain myself?
Absolutely. But just do me a favor. I'm going to be heading down to the basement. Yeah, it's, I know it's, but I'll be in and out in just a few moments. We keep.
Why are you going to the basement? You see him look over at the doors opposite the ones you entered the foyer through.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, I feel like I can tell you something. You're a good man at keeping secrets. I have a little bit of a fetish.
Eyebrows raised.
Oren blushes in a very practiced way, kind of thinking back to his training as an actor in the circus. And I can go into detail if you want, but enough to suffice it to say, it requires a dank room in the home of my employer.
Make me a deception check quickly with advantage.
Okay.
With advantage, that means he knows that Tyrrell's a fuck.
Yeah. It's more that he just doesn't want to know.
Right.
He's like tuning out. He's like, okay, enough.
Right. You can always get people to look the other way by making them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a 19 deception.
And he goes, oh, all right, just well, if you get caught, you never saw me.
Absolutely. I promise not to leave a mess.
Oh God. Okay, just get out of here. He like slowly puts down the cheese that he was eating.
Swipes his hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Oren will move towards those doors that he looked at and head on in.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll keep going with you for a little while. So, you go down the stairs and you go to the door he looked at, and it opens into what appears to be a cloakroom. There's about 3 or 4 coats hanging up, and you see that there's a trapdoor kind of at the far end that you reckon would lead to a basement.
Okay. I'm gonna pilfer the coats.
Okay. Like steal from them, or?
Oh yeah, just go through them and
just
if there's anything useful.
Yeah. There's probably like a couple coins and like receipts and bills of sale and.
Okay. If there's anything specifically interesting, I'll take it. But if not, then I'll leave it.
There's nothing that fascinating.
Okay. No keys. No. Okay. Yeah, I will cast silence one more time. Actually, no. I will cast. God. Yeah. I'll cast nothing, and I'll just open the door slowly and carefully as I can.
Yeah. You do, and you see that there's steps leading down, made of wood, into the dark, pitch black basement.
There's no light?
No, there's no light there.
Okay.
But we will skip across before I let you do anything else.
Okay, I'm going to use the bathroom real quick.
Cool. What is Kylan and Phaedra doing?
Oh, there's a big fat nothing in the room I'm in right now. Yeah, just glowing flowers.
Just glowing flowers, yeah.
I go over and mess with them just because bored.
Yeah, they're just like they're probably a flower you've seen that like tend to be quite, they're like always in rich people houses because they glow. I know they've probably got some fancy name.
Yeah, she probably doesn't know it. And then I go back into like the little storage area, and I'm just gonna kind of like go through everything in there quietly.
Yeah,
see if
you
there's, like,
find
anything else.
nothing interesting.
Okay.
It's just like mops and buckets that appear to have never been used and that sort of thing. So,
And eventually, she'll get bored and try and peek and
all right,
see
make
where.
me a stealth check.
And oh, 7.
Okay.
Just peeking my head around a corner. Oh, there's a
Door
door. I
opens.
forgot there was a door.
Yeah. You see, like the ears, kind of prick up of one of the men at the who's sitting at the table. In the corner, there's 2 of them, and one of them like is up and begins to slowly turn around.
I'll walk in like I own the place. Are they playing dice or cards?
Dice.
Ah, excellent. What are we playing, gentlemen? As I come in to sit next to them.
And they kind of look over at you. I'm gonna let them, potential perception check to see if they can see Kylan though. No, they do not. So I imagine they turn over the opposite shoulder to the one that Kylan's looking at, and they kind of furrow their brows and look at each other, and then you're like, they're like, no one would have just walked in here and said that if they weren't allowed to be here, because that will end badly. So I guess, and they just go, just standard bones, and like look at each other.
Mind if I get in the next one?
All right, you got cash?
Always. And she'll put, like, what kind of blind does it look like they're doing?
It's like a couple of gold pieces each. But
put...
every time they make a bet, one of their gold pieces that they place a bet with is put off into a separate pile.
Okay.
So it's like, I bet 2 and then I put an extra one over in the pile.
It's like a pot. Okay.
With your experience in gambling stuff, you reckon that's probably the house.
Yeah.
The house is cut. If you have a private game, that's what you get for the privilege of doing it here, is the house gets a cut of whatever happens.
I'll put down the appropriate amount of gold coins,
Sure.
And then
So,
like the one in the house. And
we'll say 4, including the one for the house.
Okay.
It's just they're doing it for like just because they can, rather than to try and win big or anything. They look like guards that are off duty, maybe. And it's just 2d6, and you roll it and see who gets the highest.
There'll be a sleight of hand check as I'm putting the coin on the table to replace the dice with my loaded ones.
Okay. Make a sleight of hand check.
That will be a 22.
Yeah, they do not notice.
Excellent.
Maybe you do this sort of like you drop one of your gold coins and they like go to pick it up and you swap them out then. So it's the game is like the most simple. You roll 2d6 and whoever gets the highest wins. But if you get doubles, you get to add an extra d6.
Ooh.
Okay. So if I have loaded dice as part of my background.
If you have loaded dice, I'll say you can or you can change one of the die rolls to a 6.
Okay.
Each time. All right. Okay. There's
Got
a
a
10 and a 9.
I got a natural 6, and then I can change the other one to a 6. So I just
Okay.
got double 6s.
They both scowl and like sort of like sit back as you draw the well, you'd get an extra you draw their 6 gold total towards yourself.
As this beginner's luck, yeah? Go again?
Sure. They scowl. Okay. One of them rolled double 3s, so he gets to add a d6. For a 4, so that's a total of 10, and the other one got 6 total.
Rolled an 11. I actually didn't want to win, but rolled a natural 11. I'll leave it.
All right. You win again. Scowl again. You're mighty lucky, it seems. One of them says. I'm leaning back.
Well, you know how it goes. It's
Do I?
ladies' night, and luck be a lady. She gives him a wink.
Here's a swig of a drink. Maybe you're right. Anyway, we should be going. And the other one goes, and he said, we should be going. And they stand up and begin to leave.
It's nice to meet you, gentlemen. Should come play again with me sometime.
They sort of like scowl and walk off. You reckon you've probably taken like a week's wages there or something? Maybe a few days' wages.
She'll watch them leave with like...
Yeah, I'm going to give them an additional perception check for walking along the room to see if they can see Kylan. Although, Kylan, would you have entered the room by now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll say they can't, but you are basically standing behind this guy. Like, while this is going on, you're standing behind this guy as he packs. Looks like a kind of briefcase thing.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah.
All right, so I will do the classic, like, come up behind him, hand over the mouth, dagger to the neck.
Okay. Are you killing him, or are you just placing your dagger on his neck?
Either way, after this mission, you're going to be very exposed.
Every second you waste, there's a chance he turns around.
Yeah, no, I'm not killing him yet.
Okay, so he turns around.
Quiet.
He's very short. He has red hair and kind of bright red stubble. He's human and extremely weak and skinny.
You will die if you even make a peep.
You feel him like swallow and like nod slightly.
So I imagine I was told the person that owes the debt.
Yes.
All right. And their name would be
Morris Ackerman, this guy.
He owes the debt?
Or this guy's in the office of the guy who owes the debt.
Wait, so it's an employee of this place that owes money to the gambling house?
No.
Owes money to the plowshares. She just found the guy who left the kitchen window open.
Okay.
Possibly found the guy who left the kitchen window open.
This is the office of Morris Ackerman, who is the guy that
Yeah, so probably. Well, I'll shut up. I'm not there.
What do you say?
Da, 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 da.
All right. So, Morris Ackerman?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, you owe a bit of money to some people, and I was asked to come and collect that.
Oh. He nods again.
Do you have the money?
You hear him like stop breathing for a second, and then he nods.
With you.
He nods.
All right. I'm gonna let go, and you're not gonna scream, right? Because I'm gonna stick you like a pig if you do.
He nods again.
I'll like kind of let him go.
Okay. Yeah. He 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 pulls from around his neck once you release him a key on a leather thong. And he just whispers like, the chest under the main desk. Just take as much as you need. And like, it's like holding up his hands like, please don't kill me.
And we're good and clear?
He nods.
All right. Now, is it the chest in here or is it a chest elsewhere?
In the gambling hall.
All right.
So
You're a good boy.
He just nods like, yep, whatever you say.
Oh, and one thing, I was never here.
He like shakes his head and nods at the same time. Or tries to.
It's just a circle.
Are you packing up for the night or skipping down?
He begins barking. No, he nods.
Skipping town?
Packing up.
Okay, packing up.
I'm going to skip town now.
Yeah, you know what? It probably would be best.
He nods again.
So I'm going to leave, and you're going to wait, maybe 15 minutes or so, and then you're going to leave, okay?
He continues nodding as you speak.
And remember, I was never here. And I'll leave the office.
Yeah, see, as you leave the office, you see the two guys kind of heading into the room that you entered from. And you see Phaedra just like kind of, I imagine, like piling money into her purse or whatever. Or
I'll give her a little
coat,
way.
you know? And you see that there's like a kind of half hexagon desk over in kind of one of the corners that looks fairly main desk-ish.
And it's pretty clear now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And as he said, underneath is a large square or rectangular chest. The key fits in the lock and you open it, and inside is...
Phaedra's going to come up behind Kylan doing all this, being all like, what'd you find?
There's no reason we can't all profit a little bit from this, right?
I believe that's downright enterprising.
Exactly.
Totally what fits within the player share motto, right? Not that are you a player share? You're not. You're freelancer?
Well, do we know above board like that we're like that, or would they know that like taking money from this guy without that being the mission is gonna like get us killed?
I mean, the Plowshare's kind of motto thing is like, take what you can, but don't get caught. So if you get caught, right, you're in deep shit. If you don't get caught, you've done nothing wrong.
Right. Fair enough.
So,
okay. Sorry, I want to make sure that you guys were in trouble.
Yeah. So as he said, there's all these different compartments that in the chest that are labeled with various names.
But I haven't seen you around on jobs before. You a plowshare? You a freelancer?
Yeah, they hire me every once in a while. I happen to be a bit of an expert on gambling halls like this. See, I found the chest where they keep all the winnings.
I knew I liked you for some reason.
So in this chest is probably about 13,000 gold total.
Jesus.
But how much of that you can carry is...
Yeah, I'll take what I need.
Okay. You can carry
Phaedra
what you need.
Take quite a bit extra. Yeah, she has a bag of holding. So
okay.
You can take all of it.
The chest just forced in. Yeah, okay, cool. I mean, you probably actually could take the whole chest, to be honest.
Oh.
But it would take.
Is that all?
time.
Is that all you want, darling? Before I like take the chest and shove it in my bag.
I find it's good to not be too greedy. And I found your stairs.
See, I told you they'd be some near the back. Has
Yeah.
Oren said anything yet?
It's my turn.
Speaking of which, yeah.
So before he goes down the stairs, he'll send a message, this time to Phaedra. Any
I'll
news?
speak of the devil. We found some stairs leading up in the back, the gambling hall. 2 gentlemen are exiting a few minutes ago, so should be clear by now.
All right.
So the way message works, you can't respond, Dylan.
No,
right?
yeah.
I would have
can.
to cast it. Yeah, I would have to cast it again.
Okay, so you're just casting each time, right?
Yeah,
Oh, it's
exactly.
a cantrip, is it?
Yeah.
it's a cantrip.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Just
Yeah, it's a fucking dope spell. Yeah. So one more time before I go down, I'll reply. All right, I'll be along shortly. But I want you to make me a promise, and I'll put on my most dashing voice. If anything happens, you two run and leave me behind.
Oh, don't worry, darling.
That was a plan all along.
I kind of
So-
figured.
as you head down the stairs,
No, there's no light down there, right?
no, it's pitch black.
Okay, I'll just kind of sit at the bottom of the stairs for a minute and wait for my eyes to adjust. And,
Yeah,
and listen really acutely.
Yeah, so there's no sounds. Just maybe you hear a rat or something, but not much. And you see, like, your eyes slowly make out that there's this huge vault right in front of you, like a massive square metal vault doohickey.
Okay. Bear with me one sec. So I will make sure the door is closed behind me, and I will cast light. Are there floorboards like are there spaces big enough that light would shine up?
No, there's no way. It's we'll say it's stone floor because this thing has hella deep foundations
Right.
because most of it's underground.
Right. So, I will get up to the vault.
Yeah.
I will disguise self as an hour non-concentration, so I will concentrate on another silence spell, and then I will cast knock on the vault.
All right. The door opens. Swings open very slowly. You can see it's very thick steel, and inside
Okay.
it's pitch black.
Well, I mean, I have light.
Yeah, but I was just doing that for effect. Come on, Dylan, chill out.
You
and
know
so
how light
inside-
works, Rob, right?
Yeah. So there's a ton of like chests, which I mean, out of character, are almost identical to the one that they've stolen upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also kind of a pedestal at the back that has a golden idol sitting on top of it, like it looks solid gold, and it looks to be like a sort of Easter Island head, maybe, or a monkey or something.
Okay.
Very exotic looking.
I will drop silence. So hold on, let me make sure I've cast all my spells appropriately here. Drop silence, and I'm going to cast. Do I think I have time to do detect magic as a ritual?
Well, it takes like how long? 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
I mean, 10 minutes is some amount
That's
of
probably
time.
about how long it would take me to make a mess in the basement. So that's I'm going to assume that this guy's given me the time to do my business, and that'll be about 10 minutes. So I'll take 10 minutes and cast detect magic.
Okay.
Do I see anything glowing in the room?
Yeah, the idol is glowing.
And what kind of magic is on it?
I can actually definitely tell you this one if you give me about 17 seconds. Oh, no,
You can have exactly that.
It might be less time. It is abjuration.
Okay. I wasn't told that the statue was magical.
Make me a perception check as well.
Sure. Ooh. That is with double proficiency a 23.
All right. You think that there's another type of magic sort of around the thing as well,
So it might be trapped.
potentially.
Okay. I'm going to take my whip. I'll just take my robe. I'll just like pull it out from the illusion that I'm wearing. Like take off my gi, and I'm going to fashion it into a little satchel.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to just rope it off the thing without touching it and drop it into my pack.
Okay. Well, a good idea, Dylan. I'm afraid that's still going to trigger the trap.
Get.
This is full on Indiana Jones. So as soon as you pull it off, you're like, oh, that's what the magic was. As like
Can
a
we
little
think that I filled my pockets with gold first, knowing that I was about to set up a trap? Okay.
You're full of chopped
I just
skills.
Okay.
You see that the pedestal it was standing on has like a gem built in the center that's bright pink, and it goes poof, and explodes into dust, which you then breathe in. Dylan, you need to make an intelligence saving throw.
Yeah. Mind poison. That is a 17.
Okay. Yes. That's a fail.
That's a high DC.
Yeah, it was a high DC because I really wanted to ruin something with this spell. Also, it's an 8th level spell, so its DC is 18. So you take 13 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
And oh, I'm so sorry, but it's only one shot, so I'm not that sorry.
What happened?
This is the Feeble Mind spell.
Oh, great.
So your intelligence and wisdom and charisma become 1. You can't cast spell, you can't activate magic items, you can't understand language or communication in any intelligible way. You can, however, identify your friends, follow them, and even protect them.
Okay.
And you can repeat the saving throw every 30 days.
Okay, so Oren knows, I think, would have an instinctual idea that he's supposed to get that thing. He knows what he was doing.
Right. You have the thing.
Right.
You still have it, and it's still in your pack because there was like a slight delay. But now you just know nothing.
He's going to just dash up the stairs, out the front door, and sprint.
Okay.
He still looks like the guard.
Yeah. So you see the guard just like stand up and begin giving chase.
My speed's pretty good.
Yeah, he's not gonna outspeed you, I'll say, because he also had to make it down the stairs, and so you'd get away.
I'd probably just jump into the river and run and run and run and run and run. Just keep going. Just swim as far as I can. I'm just in full on panic mode.
Day comes up and he's just like running into a wall just constantly. Okay, I guess for now then we'll move away from here. Obviously, although actually interestingly, he may notice you because
find a place in the forest and just bury the statue someplace.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good idea. Yeah. The forest is quite far away, so sure.
Whatever, someplace nearby.
Yeah, but there's like there's like probably like gardens and that sort of thing. But the other thing is while you have that statue on you, you're under the effects of Pass Without a Trace. So maybe he doesn't even. I'll say he doesn't even notice you until the door like bursts open. He's like, oh
sure.
What
happened to Earl?
Yeah. Awesome. It's called the Carpenter Debacle for a reason. Now, you guys downstairs hear a door slam upstairs, and it sounds like a heavy door.
All right.
Oh no, not upstairs. Sorry, back in the front of the house.
About how much time has? Sorry.
No, I was just going to say kind of wait and see if I hear any kind of footsteps or anything moving towards us.
You do not.
Okay.
You do hear footsteps, but that you can tell they're moving away from you.
How much time had passed between Kylan and me, Kylan and I, robbing the house and the door slamming?
This is all simultaneously happening.
simultaneously?
Yeah.
Okay.
So as you like finally fit the chest in, you hear the slam and the footsteps moving away from you, and maybe you hear like "Oi!"
So actually, that timeline's a little fuzzy because I took 10 minutes to cast Detect Magic.
Shit. Okay, ignore me.
Yeah.
You hear
I
nothing.
was just going to say, like, while all of that was happening, or like while we were waiting for Oren,
You should
because
play them out for 10
Oren
minutes of game
had-
time.
Yeah.
Oren had
I
told me
completely
that he
forgot
was
about
gonna
the ritual. Okay.
They might
so
be
continue.
standing at the top of the stairs when I get up there. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So, while we're waiting for Oren, can we kind of, or Phaedra is going to search the other offices for the ledgers?
Okay. There's many books and stuff, but you don't find any of the ledgers. You don't think,
Okay.
because these things would be big.
Okay. But just to cover our bases. And then, I guess we're kind of waiting. And while we're searching, we hear the door slam.
Sure. I mean, if you are just waiting for him, then yeah, you do eventually hear the door slam.
He said that he was going to come up, and we hear the door slam. And so, guess we should go move on.
Yeah, start moving upstairs. I'll scout ahead if you'd like. Again? Yeah?
Sure.
All right. So you begin heading upstairs. It is, and you when you get to the top of the stairs, you see you're in a corridor. You see the balcony is kind of down the opposite end of the corridor, and the only kind of features in this hallway with its like red thick carpet floor are 2 doors on each side of the corridor. And you see that the guard who was up there is no longer there.
Okay. So
What would you like to do?
I'll move to so there's a door on the left and a door on the right.
There's 2 on each side.
Oh, there's 2 on each side. All right, so they're double doors or just single?
Just single.
Okay. I'll kind of listen to the ones on the right.
Okay, you listen to the first one on the right, and there's nothing. You listen to the second one on the right, and you hear like a slight rumbling, and you hear what sounds like running water, and the rumbling's like,
Okay.
but quite quiet.
Listen to the ones on the left.
You hear nothing from either.
Kind of head back down, and we've got 4 doors upstairs. One's got some water and kind of rumbly sound, and the others are silent. And the guard isn't at the top of the stairs anymore.
So, yeah. Have you heard anything from Oren?
No, but I mean, like I said, the guard isn't at the stairs, so he did his job, I guess.
Nailed it.
I mean, I figured if he'd been found out, this place would be crawling with extra guards looking for us.
That's a good point. I guess the guard isn't up there. We can just go up there and start looking around, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, these other doors, they might be offices, maybe? I don't know. I don't really know like where people put offices in places like this.
Sounds about right.
Although I'm pretty sure the one with the water is probably not an office.
How loud is the water?
Not very.
Could be
It sounds like a trickle.
Could be like a water fountain in Big Boss's office. Seems like the kind of thing that some pretentious carpenter asshole would have in there.
These people are really weird. But you're right. We should probably check them all.
All right. Which are you checking first?
I mean, do you want to check the one with the water fountain? The water?
We can save the water for later if you like. Don't make fun of my Kiwi accent there, Rob, or I'll kick your ass.
Whoa, calm down.
No problem.
All right, so the ones on the left then. Let's just go with the ones on the left then.
Okay, so they look like fairly large offices. They both have desks with drawers in them. So we'll assume you're in the first one. Yes, it's got this desk
Yeah.
with a drawer in it, a few kind of filing cabinets, or the medieval fantasy equivalent. So just chests of drawers or something.
Ledgers, or are these just kind of middle management kind of desks?
Sort of. They look much nicer than the ones downstairs, but yeah.
Oh,
they're probably
management.
they're probably not the bosses, but yeah, they could be. They could be upper management.
So they've probably got some nice snacks or whatever.
Yeah, and like one of them's got one of those like desk ornaments where you flick it and it like perpetually moves in a weird shape.
Okay. So no ledgers though.
Well, make me an investigation check.
Maybe 18.
Okay. You search the first one, and you kind of check one of the drawers in the desk, and you pull it open, and you see that there's like a key in there, and you sort of looking around, you see it matches a key to one of the other drawers, and you open that, and there's a big brown leather book inside. And it's got the symbol of the Carpenters on it, the crossed axe and saw.
All right.
It's like it's really big, like bigger than a PHB, like and square and like a good solid like hand's width thick.
Okay.
You think this is probably one of the ledgers?
All right. So I will cautiously kind of like grab it, maybe leaf through a few pages.
Yeah, it looks to be written in a series of dots and dashes and like slashes and shapes. It doesn't look like any language you've ever seen. You think it's clearly a code.
All right, I don't get it, but
there's people at the flash can decode.
All right, this is one of them, I think, maybe, quietly.
Would you let me hang on to that? If we get caught, if it's in my bag of holding, they, can't pull it out if they don't know it's there.
I mean, or they can pull it out because they know. You know what? You know what? You're absolutely right. I'm not going to argue with you on this one. On to the next one.
Yeah. So the second office on the left has nothing in it, but you go into the first office on the right and you find another ledger hidden exactly the same way.
Now, were we given a number of like ledgers to take?
You were. There's 3.
Okay. All right, let's go to the super extra quiet to the water one.
All right. So you enter this room and you open the door, and you open the door into like a jungle. There are just like enormous trees, or not trees, like enormous bushes, and it looks just tropical. It is boiling hot. And you see like giant Venus flytraps and all these weird exotic plants, and you see that there's a door in the far side of the room. And the room's about 45 feet long. It's a huge room that's filled with all these plants, kind of on either side, and there's a walkway through the middle. Okay. Sweet. So, what would you like to do?
I mean, I'd probably start moving towards the door, but like be super cautious for keeping my eyes peeled for like any kind of like traps or anything that might kind of movement that might indicate there's something in here that's gonna like eat me.
Okay, make me a perception check.
22.
22. Okay, you're looking around, and then you see what looks like a massive rock in one of the corners, but then you sort of see it slowly moving in and out,
like breathing. Yeah.
So as you take a step into the room, you take another step, and then there's suddenly two just burning points of pain in your back, and you hear this kind of almost slightly explosive sound, but quiet. You take 22 points of damage, fire damage, and are thrown forward onto your face as you are hit in the back with 2 scorching rays.
Kylan, are you all right? That accent went horrible. I'll run.
I'm fine.
Are you sure?
No, but shh. The rocks are breathing.
They're breathing.
Shh.
You see,
Quiet.
there's a kind of burning, smoldering mark in the far wall, and the rocks begin to move. There's 2 of them. They're enormous. Well, I guess they're technically large. As you see 2 creatures begin to stand, they look like enormous toads, but like carved from stone and wood almost. They have these 2 huge horns on their head and 6 legs, and you can hear them rumbling as they begin to get up and like look around. Kind of confused, but they don't see you yet. What would you like to do?
Run away!
Just like standing next to Kylan, all like, well, what do we do?
Can we? The forest path is like the path to is the only one we see visible. We can't
like it's less like a path and more like there's plants on either side, and there's clearly a designated, and the things begin like licking the air.
We probably should step out for a minute.
Okay. And follow her lead.
No, don't really have a better plan than this.
There's only one door in and out of this room, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Phaedra is going to rush over to the door, probably a little bit noisier than she probably could because she's a little bit panicked about like the big scary frogs. And whenever she crosses through the threshold, she's going to slam the door shut and click her movable rod so that it is jammed shut. And Kylan is locked in the room. And she'll shout, "Time for dinner, boys!"
All right.
Oh snap!
All right. That kind of sniff the air. So you've locked Kylan in. Okay.
Yep.
Amazing.
So
yeah.
sketch.
Kylan, you are actually up first. What would you like to do?
I am going to try to move off the path.
Okay.
And
you can jump into the foliage. Make me a hide check, stealth check.
25.
Okay, so
you have
you just
disadvantage because somebody shouted "Time for dinner, boys."
I mean, no, because these guys are super dumb. So they turn around, and it's not going to matter anyway. So they like look around. They can't see you as you just like immediately adapt and slip in behind the foliage, and one of them sort of walks into the center, and you hear it like, and then just this, as it kind of like its chest just explodes outwards for a second and sucks back in. I need a Constitution saving throw from you. As this just explosive noise that could be probably, I mean, fucking Oren can hear it in the basement. Just this, and it like shakes slightly.
13.
Okay. 13 is a fail. You need a 17. These guys do not fuck around. Where are all my d8s? There. Okay. You take 38 points of thunder damage and are permanently, or not permanently, but you are deafened for the next 10 minutes. As just this like it's like an explosive sound that just like uproots the some of the foliage, and you are just like thrown back against the wall as this noise, your eardrums are bleeding, is the loudest thing you've ever heard. You know, it's like standing behind a jet taking off as this just explodes, and the other one of these toad things goes flying as well and like smashes into a wall and gets up like shaking its head. What would you like to do?
No more stealthing.
Yeah.
Shit.
I believe it's actually my turn in the initiative, and
All right.
Phaedra is going to.
I mean, you actually would like have been thrown off your feet by this,
yeah?
even though you're on the other side of the door. Yeah, I won't give you any damage,
cool,
but you
cool.
like, you know, you're like, Jesus Christ.
I'm just gonna pick myself up and start walking out.
You're just leaving
Yeah.
with the ledger, or the two ledgers you have.
She only has one of the ledgers.
Oh, okay. So you're leaving with the ledger you have.
Sure.
Okay. Meanwhile, or whose turn is it? Favorite. Okay, is your turn again, kind of. If you'd like to do anything.
How far am I from the door?
You're right next to it.
No, the other door.
Oh, the other door. You're. It's maybe. I said it was a 45-foot long room. So about 40 feet. I'll say 30. I'll say you kind of moved a little bit. I'll be generous, considering you've just been stabbed in the back, front, and side.
Can I get to the other door?
You can. And it's not locked, so you can easily get in.
And I shall do that.
Okay, give me one moment. My headphones are about to die, so I need to switch over.
I'm sorry.
I got this. I should have dodged.
Better hope she doesn't get out of there, Corinne.
Oh,
I can kill you.
Yeah.
So she won't get out of here. So yeah, you get to the door, you open it, and you are greeted with the sight of an identical office to the others you've been searching.
All right.
What would you like to do?
Look for the other ledger.
Yeah, sure. You can find it in exactly the same spot as it was in the others. This room is just like a stone cube, basically. There's some magical flowers similar to the ones, and there's a little jar that hangs inside a chandelier that kind of creates this like glowing, sparkly light inside the room. But there are no windows because this is an extra planar space, or like a TARDIS style thing. You hear the sounds of croaking and shuffling outside.
Is there
these
anything
things move around trying to find you?
Is there anything that I can put in front of the?
Yeah, there's a desk. There's like cabinets.
Yeah, I'll put everything I can in front of the desk right now.
Okay. So you shove it up.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do next?
Can I look for one of the guards?
For one of the guards? Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The one Oren was talking to comes back in like, oh god, that guy is quick. I am fucked. And then he sees you, he's like, hey, and points up at you.
Hi. There's someone in the big man's office. The Croker's taking their time.
Who are you?
The hired help.
Hired for what? And he like is slowly drawing his sword.
Well, you see, the Plowshares hired a bunch of people to come in here and rob your blinds, get the ledgers, and all that other good stuff. But
Like
you see, huh?
Like Turl.
I can't hear what you're saying, Rob.
Like Turl?
Yeah. Is that who you have been talking to all evening?
Yeah.
It wasn't Terrell.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. I promise.
Well,
But
who
the
was
other
it
one,
then?
some blotter named Oren, I think. But there's another one up in the office.
Oh, well. If they're in the office, then not much we can do about it.
You got to make a roll a deception check. Come on now, or something.
She doesn't have to make a deception check.
Oh man, I'll shut my mouth then.
I was paid very well to make sure that, you know, this evening went smoothly, and she'll hand the ledger over to him.
Ah, you're that hired help.
Indeed.
All right, well, the other one will be dead by morning, so I guess you did your job.
Yeah, they cleaned out the gambling house downstairs too. Do you think the Carpenters would mind if you and I took a cut?
He kind of looks side to side and says, I don't think he'll mind whatsoever.
I knew I liked you.
And I think that's pretty much where we'll end it, unless anyone has any epilogues they'd like to do.
Bitch, Rob.
So yeah, I think the only thing I would add is that, like, you know, eventually you would make it back to the Plowshares, Oren. And you just be like, you know, like.
So I imagine he gets there and is just clutching the statue and just like makes. Actually, I was thinking about this. I don't know if Warren would actually go back to the Plowshares. He doesn't actually like them or care about them very much. He might get the sense that this statue makes him really quiet and just run away with it.
Yeah. Maybe he turns up at the keep like blubbering, but with a statue.
He runs all the way north.
And that's where we'll